So I wanted to make a video to address a question from a fellow student in the class that I'm taking, which is Nightlight Astrology's Ancient Astrology for the Modern Mystic, Year 1. The question is, why is the eastern point read on the left side of a chart and the western point read as the right side of a chart? So where this question is coming from is from our familiarity with the standard compass, where west is on the left and east is on the right. But if you've studied some astrology, you'd know that when you look at an astrology chart, it's a different situation. In an astrology chart, rather than west being on the left, east is on the left, and west is on the right. So when you do this, that also changes the north and south. So now, instead of north being at the top, south is at the top, and north is at the bottom. So why do we do this? Why is it so different from the compass that we're used to? And the answer provided by one of the tutors in our class had said that it's because the ecliptic, or the path of the sun that's followed by the planets, is not visible in the north. So I wanted to use an astronomy program to add a visual for that. So what we're looking at here, this is Portland, Oregon, and we are looking at the northern sky. Now this is 7:20 a.m. It's light out, but I have the sky darkened so we can see the stars. And if we look toward the north, we see stars. But what we really want to look at is this orange line here. This is the ecliptic, so this is the path that the sun takes. And we can see that the ecliptic is below the ground. If we turn to face the west, we can see that it's above ground. And if we turn to face the east, we can see that it's above ground. So this is looking east. And so to bring up the chart to reference that, with the left side of the chart being the eastern point, we can see that the sun has just risen above the horizon. And so that matches what we're seeing here. And so remember, the top of the chart is south. And so why that is, if we turn to face south, then we can see that the ecliptic becomes visible. And so I like to think of astrology charts as kind of a, I don't really want to say primitive, but like a 2D representation of those apps that you have, like the night sky apps that you can put your phone up to the sky and see things. Because if you orient yourself facing south, and I should add a disclaimer that this applies to the northern hemisphere. Things get a little bit different in the southern hemisphere. But if you are looking at an astrology chart and you face south, you should be able to see, well, you wouldn't be able to see these planets in the daytime, but you would definitely be able to locate the sun at the eastern part of the chart. And if it was nighttime and, say, Jupiter was close to setting, you would see Jupiter over toward the right side of the chart where the western side is. And in this program, we can see that the moon is recently set. So that would show up in our charts as being below that ascendant-descendant line in the bottom half of the chart. So everything of this orange line, which is the ecliptic that you're seeing that's above ground, is the top half of the chart. And then as we turn to face north, the ecliptic is now at our the visible ecliptic is now at our back, and now we're looking at what would be the bottom of the chart. So this is why charts are read with the east on the left, the west on the right. It's because we have to face south to see the ecliptic in the sky in the northern hemisphere. I hope that helps. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video on why charts are read with the east on the left and the west on the right. If there's any other astrological concepts that you'd like to see demonstrated in an astronomy program, please let me know in the comments below.